You've just blown my mind.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I've just realised Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson are different people.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to MGP321. I'm Kevin. With me as ever, there's Sheepdog, Anna and Pab. Say hello, boys and girls.
Hello. You sound cold.
Hello.
Hello.
I am cold, Sheepdog. It's a very cold day. We've already discussed this pre-show. That's why those of you who are looking at the length of this podcast and thinking, "Cool, they only did 12 minutes. What's that all about?" That's because it's so cold, sat in my garage. The moment we even drift for a second off topic, I'm pulling the plug and going back in the house, and I'll just I'll write each of you a letter telling you everything else that I've played this week, if it gets to that.
Why don't you just sit next to Anna and share a microphone?
Because
you don't talk at the same time.
Because I'm an entertainment professional, and I couldn't lower my audio standards to that degree. I'm not Sheepdog. I need perfect audio on my end.
But we used to when we did
And
Hangouts.
it sounded awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
I mean,
You're the one that wanted to do it all the time.
That's because I didn't care then. This is my job now. This is all part of my brand.
Move some kit in there then. Sorry, Pab.
We listened to some old shows last week, didn't we, after the recording? And they were strange in places, weren't they, Kev?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a point. We've not done a show since we discovered that. At the end of last week's show, Kev basically said to me, "Why the hell aren't we on Spotify yet, Sheepdog?" And I said, "I don't know." I tried submitting it, and then I typed in Mature Gamer and nothing came up, and I typed in a few other bits, nothing come up. And then I don't know if I typed in Leluja or whether I typed in MGP, but one of them brought up the show, and I was like, "Oh, bloody hell, every episode's on here." I tried to tweet about it, but I put Spreaker instead of Spotify, so anyone who saw the tweet just didn't.
You're a marketing genius.
I am. Everyone was like, "What's Spreaker? Is that like Spotify?" I was like, "Yeah."
It's on there as well, though.
Yeah. So there we have it. If you're listening on anything but Spotify, get with the times, egghead.
And if you're on Spotify, let us know. Just out of curiosity.
And if you're new to the show this week, the entire 7-year back catalogue is all on Spotify, because also as part of the process, we discovered that this show is actually our 7-year anniversary of doing the podcast. I think we started this podcast on the 22nd of January, 2012. So we're like 7 years, we're like 4 days away from the 7-year anniversary. So you can listen to a full 7 years worth of entertainment on Spotify. And I think Spotify is the only place you can do that, because iTunes limits it to the 200 most recent episodes, I think. So if you want to listen to all of this from the very beginning, I really wouldn't. But if you want to, it's there. Exciting times.
I keep meaning to make a playlist. I was going to make a playlist and just see how many hours it was. Just because obviously we've got to send the bill out at some point to everybody. We keep threatening it. We've been threatening it for 7 years, but soon the bills will be out. The invoices will be needing to be paid.
Exactly.
Which just makes the process easier.
Anyone who wants to avoid that bill, there is one way to avoid getting an invoice for all the podcasting entertainment you've enjoyed over the last 7 years, and that is to buy a ticket to MGPX. We harped on about it a little bit last week. And to be fair, it was very well supported, almost immediately. We're already close to a third of the way funded on the event, which is excellent. We've still a month to go before tickets close, or tickets don't close, but we need that Indiegogo to have funded by the end of February, or we can't book the room, which means the event can't go ahead. And so I think we're up to about 140, 150 pounds of ticket sales at the moment. We need to get to 500. Wow. And if you want to come, if you want the event to happen, it's lelujo.fm/MGPX. Buy your ticket in advance. As ever, it's pay what you want. So if you just want to do a quid and you're not even going to bother coming, do a quid and don't come. But it makes the event more likely to happen. If you want to stick 50 quid in the pot, no one's stopping you from doing that. But as ever, every pound you spend on tickets we'll get you an entry into the famous MGPX raffle, which I'm sure Sheepdog has already stocked up with thousands of pounds worth of paraphernalia.
I've got a used Yankee Candle bucket thing in front of me that can go in the mix. And that's about it at the moment.
Just amazing. Just brilliant.
I forgot, all right?
What have I got sat on my desk that I can give away? Some bells, a hammer, a 4 terabyte. Actually, no, I need that. Yeah. Win a used candle. Is it still a candle if it's used?
Well, there's some wax in the bottom. I don't know.
That would make a perfectly good drinking glass, Sheepdog. Get it washed, get it in your cupboard.
Well, you've been
with all those
chastising
Nutella
me.
jars.
You've been chastising me for trying to get myself a beer before the show, so I didn't want to say this would make a great double shot glass. But that was the second thought after I'd said I needed to build a little well to dangle it in and fetch some water. I'll just clear the wax out and it could be my drinking bucket.
Excellent stuff. So I trust you've bought your ticket to MGPX, Sheepdog, so that you can come along and enjoy the day.
I'm still waiting for my agent to hear from your agent and
you're my
hash out a
agent.
fee. Am I?
Do you not remember?
Really?
I send you my media kit and everything. You're supposed to be out there selling my services. You're on 10%, you buffoon. You're the worst agent in the world.
Damn it. That's true. Oh, man. Oh, damn. Oh, does anyone want to hire Kev for £500,000? I'm on 10%. Pay off my debts. That'll probably do it.
I need a new agent. If anyone out there is an agent, I'm in the market. Just don't tell Sheepdog. Certainly don't try and come through my agent because he'll deny knowledge of me existing.
It's funny you bring this up, and I know you said you'll walk out of the room, but do not, because part of the reason I wanted you and Anna to watch that program I messaged you about on WhatsApp, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, is because it's about a woman who tries to become a stand-up comedian, and she gets this kind of towny, down and out, I can't think of the right word. She's just a poor person who just lives in the ghetto. She's like this, almost, if she was English, she'd be a chimney sweep almost, but she's got a little flat cap and a roughed up clothes, and she goes around trying to book gigs for Mrs. Maisel and try and help her become a world-class comedian. And it's been really fascinating watching her just hash it out as an agent. So that's what I need to start doing. I need to start hashing it out as your agent. I'll be her, you can be Mrs. Maisel, and I'll get you the gigs. I don't know how it's going to work out for him because it's a program, so it's dramatic and it goes up and down all the way through. But
thanks for describing fiction to us, Sheepdog.
Exactly. But what I'm trying to say is, don't watch it and think, oh God, I'm not allowing Sheepdog to do this. This is a train wreck, because I'm learning from it. I'll be better. But yeah. Watch that program. I'm getting it right out of the way at the start. It's on Amazon Prime. I think it's fantastic. Quite frankly, doing this show is interrupting my run of watching it. I've watched 3 episodes an evening for the past 5 days. It's about 45 minutes an episode, but it is fantastic. It's so funny and so good, and it's set entirely in the 50s. So it's all like oldie clothes and oldie buildings and stuff. But I can't believe I've never heard of it. It's such a good program.
Really?
Claire started watching it without me. She was like, do you mind if I keep it on?
Familiar.
She got about 4 episodes in, and I just happened to be in the room, and it was on, like most programs that I don't normally watch. And I just started getting into it. And that usually ends up meaning it's going to be an excellent program. And this has been true to form. So yeah, I've excitedly told everyone I know to watch it, and nobody has, which is a little bit frustrating.
I have watched
We watched the first couple of episodes, didn't we? Like a month ago, maybe.
It's blooming good anyway. I love it. I'm well happy. Although I think we're nearly finished it now, which...
There's 2 seasons.
Yeah, we're halfway through the second one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're not even that far because Kevin won't watch it because he's always outside.
She knows full well I'll watch it whenever she wants.
You want to watch New Girl until you have to pay for it. So
New Girl, excellent. That's right.
New Girl, it is excellent.
Yeah.
Is that the Zooey Deschanel one?
Yes. Yeah.
I am slightly put off by that because there's a New Girl Brooklyn Nine-Nine crossover episode.
Yeah, I watched it.
It was lame because she just kind of turns up being a bit of a flake. There's no rhyme or reason.
It's about the 3 blokes she lived with. They're the best characters in the history of the world.
Yeah, but they weren't in this crossover, and it wasn't really a crossover. It was very hyped, and all it was they borrowed her car to go solve a crime. It was very weird. She just acted odd in it. I imagine she never acts.
Wasn't even her car.
Well, I don't even imagine she acts like that in her program. She just seemed odd. I don't know. If she does act like that in her program, I can't get my head around it. But I haven't seen it, so I'm not going to say it's bad or anything. I don't know anything about it. But I thought if it was supposed to be trying to make me go and watch that, it didn't succeed.
Well, it would be weird if that was the purpose, because it happened in like season 6 of New Girl, so it was well into it by the time it happened.
So why did it happen?
I don't know.
Because it happened in like season 4 or 5 of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Was it just a way of going, these universes are related?
I don't know. I imagine somebody owed someone else a favour, and was it around the time Brooklyn Nine-Nine was getting cancelled? Perhaps they were trying to save it.
Maybe, but what a bizarre way to save it if that's what they were doing. Because it was literally, I need a car. Can I have your car? Yeah. And then he took it and then drove off. So they must have spent a few quid to get her there to do that one scene. And I don't think she was in any more of it. Or she might have been in the car with him while he drove off. I can't remember. But it was very limited. But it got moved to NBC and the new episodes are coming out, apparently. I don't know when they'll be available here. But I'm hearing good things. So I'm excited to see more of that.
Splendid. Remember when we used to be a games podcast?
I do, but you mentioned agents. It gave me my segue I needed because I'll prove you wrong. I won't talk about any more TV. Let's talk about games.
Splendid. Yeah, I've not played any. Anyone else?
You have. We play Mario Kart and stuff.
No, we play Mario Kart every week. Had we played New Super Mario Bros. This time last week? I think we had, hadn't we?
We had just started it, yeah.
Yeah,
you didn't know how to run.
That.
Have you?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Oh, yes, there we go.
I can now run. I've not abandoned the save I had with Anna. I've started a separate save alongside it that I'm playing on my own. And I tell you what, the combination of not bumping into another person and knowing there's a run button means I went through the first 2 worlds without losing a life. It was like it was a completely different experience. It was a new game.
The whole point is that you're supposed to hold the run button down and just do the level like that. That's how like perfect Mario is played. You bounce at exactly the right times to go through it non-stop. You're supposed to, like, if you were a pro player, you'd just figure out the rhythm for that level and you would run and bounce at that rhythm. And that's what the like becoming a master of the game kind of learning curve is about. Obviously people like you and I just try and bump our way through it.
I'm such a master of it now that I have the costume. So I can now sit there wearing my new Mario onesie, which, by the way, anyone who's in the market for a Mario onesie, they're on sale in Primark at the moment for £7. And the 2XL one fits a man of my stature. So if you're worried they ain't going to fit, they fit.
You made a bit of a mistake there though, because if you'd have got the Luigi one, Mario one, big and small, would have worked.
They didn't have the Luigi one. They had Mario and Bugs Bunny and Scooby-Doo.
Well, they're not a trio.
They could be. They will be at Comic-Con if you two go and get yourself a Bugs Bunny and a Scooby-Doo one.
Shotgun Bugs.
There you go.
I don't mind Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo's alright.
To be fair, I am Sheepdog. I should probably go for the dog, but I want Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, you go and get yourself a Bugs Bunny costume then. £7 for all the character onesies. What a bargain. See, this is where, if you were a good agent, you'd have got Primark to pay me for that bit.
If you were a good client, you'd have told me you wanted paying for stuff.
Look, you're supposed to be one step ahead of me. You're the businessman. I'm the talent. You're just supposed to point the talent in the right direction and then send me money.
Yeah, I seem to remember Mrs. Maisel having this problem.
Anyway, that's my extensive review of this week in video games. Has anyone got anything else, or can I go back in my house?
I've got another chapter in the reasons why Kev's insane for thinking that Smash Bros was a bad game. I played the I can't remember what it's called, something like the Centurion with Ollie, and it was fantastic. I can't do it for starters. It's rock hard, but it's great fun. You've basically got to kill 100 baddies, CPU players, while you just have your one player who gets more and more damage the further in you go. And if you die once, you've failed. We've managed to get to something like 40 left. We're 60 in, because it counts down from 100. And then I always end up being the one who dies. I don't know what, I think it's because I'm doing most of the battle and the computer starts attacking me. Ollie's sort of floating around as Kirby or something while I'm Simon, just whipping them all with my chain. And
Simon.
Castlevania, I think.
Belmont.
What?
Simon Belmont.
Yeah, but he is Castlevania. Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, what the hell's Belmont? That's not a game. Isn't that a university? But no, it's great. I'm loving it. I tried being Kirby, but he just gets smashed off the map the second anyone blinks at him. I also discovered, I admit you're right about the instructions, because I discovered that if I hold down the B button for a long time as Kirby, he walks around holding his hammer out and it starts to set on fire. And then if you hit with him after a couple of seconds, it smashes the heck out of him. So he looks badass now. But no, every time I play it, I learn a bit more about it. It's so much to it. I think if they handed it all to you on a plate, it wouldn't have the allure it has. It's got a lot of depth to it. I just love it. I'm taking it with me to, I'm going away to Kent next month with my mates, and I've managed to get them to find, Switch controllers so that we can all have a tournament. And I'm so excited. I think I'll win the first few rounds because they haven't played it in a decade, and then they'll all catch up with me and they'll smash the heck out of me and I'll lose. That's how I envisage it going.
Stupid game.
Yeah, it's fine.
Have you sold it yet?
No one made me an offer.
maybe you need an agent. Go on there and have a crack at that. Just see what happens. You might start getting into it.
Nah.
I've got a little story mode.
I'm developing a backlog on the Switch. I've got lots that I need to be playing. I've got New Super Mario Brothers. I've still got Skyrim. I've got Diablo. I've got Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2. I downloaded Grim Fandango for £3 in the sale for no reason other than the fact that it was £3. I'm probably never going to even install it. But
Why?
I don't, because it's turning into a PC. Every time I go on it, the first thing I do is go on the store, have a look at what the current offers are, see if there's I've heard that's good. I'll get that while it's cheap, tuck it away in the back. It's like, I've got probably 400 PC games that I've never played. I have a problem. I like to collect things.
Oh yeah, the games are not meant to be played, they're meant to be collected. That's the rule. I'm
very good at that.
How many do you think I've got on Steam? I looked at this the other day, I was surprised.
800.
999.
Oh, why did you leave that at that? Why have you not?
Because I didn't want the 1,000th one to be some random nonsense that I've got that's just garbage. I want it to be something good.
Maybe you should go and play all 999 before you buy 1,000th.
Someone gift Farm Simulator to Pab now. Right, here we go. I'm going to buy Pab a gift. I'm
Don't
buy
you dare.
Something rubbish as your 1,000th game.
But I don't have to
Probably
accept
already
it.
got it.
Yeah, it's a good point. I already do have Farm Simulator, so.
No, I'm going to find something worse than that. Some kind of porn thing.
It doesn't matter though. I tell you what, we went through the new releases the other day when I was just in my Discord group. I was like, what is this smut on Steam now? They've taken like they're approving where they approve for games and what have you. And it's just absolute filth on Steam now. Yeah, unbelievable.
I'm looking for something for you.
But the thing is, though, Kev, it doesn't matter because I don't get it into my games list until I accept it.
What kind of monster wouldn't accept a gift from their old pal Kev?
The one who doesn't want, like, Porn Simulator or whatever it is you're looking for.
Is that a game?
Probably.
I mean, I'm just going to type the word porn into Steam and see what happens. Something a good agent would stop me from doing on the internet. Drunken porn photography is $10.99.
Jesus Christ.
Don't you dare.
How much is that? I mean,
$10.99.
Yeah.
Nothing. All right, I misheard.
Let's have a look. Yeah. Let's see what drunken porn photography is about.
It's like the McDonald's advert. It's exactly what it says on the name. Somebody messaged me. I was looking down my list trying to find who asked me. Someone asked me whether do I complete all the games that I talk about on the show? And I just laughed when I read it. I just thought, how long have you been listening? And did I have much of a pile of shame? And I'm consciously aware of the shame of my pile and the size of it and everything. But when I started listing, I was like, oh God, like there's so much stuff there that I need to play.
Well, I've got some good news for you. You're about to have something extra to play because there's drunken robot pornography. It's not porn photography. I read it wrong. It's drunken robot pornography. That makes more sense. But there's a 3-pack so we can get one each for $22.99.
Don't. Oh my goodness.
It's a bullet hell first-person shooter. Battle giant robots called Titans as they tried to slice you apart with their lasers.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think I've got it. So you said bullet hell. I think.
Oh, actually, you have. One friend already owns this game.
I got it in a humble bundle.
Oh, you monster! I'm still reeling.
That's got porn in the title.
I'm reeling from the fact it wasn't what we thought.
No, you said bullet hell, and it suddenly started ringing a bell, and I think I've got that in a humble bundle once.
Oh,
yeah,
you're a monster. Let's see how many achievements you've got now. How much you played it?
Oh, probably. I probably not even played it.
You have played 0.7 hours of Donut County in the last 2 weeks, though.
Yeah, I did try Donut County. Donut County is a superb little game. If you've not played Donut County, it'll take you 3 or 4 hours to play, and it's so cool.
What do you count donuts?
It's £10.29.
Yeah,
it's on my phone.
Yeah, it's on your phone. You can get it on iOS as well, but iOS is even better because it gives you the stickers that they use. They use emojis in the game. There's a raccoon and a girl having a conversation on a phone, and you can just send. You can use the emoji. You get the emoji, the stickers for iOS. It's cool.
I'm gonna have to cut you off here, Pab, because Steam has given me a warning. Is this game relevant to you? This game doesn't look like other things you've played in the past. Steam are actively telling me not to play it because it's not my kind of thing.
It is. It's basically like Black Hole. It's you have like
you go for all the dirty named games. Don't you? You basically control like a black hole, and you suck things into like a world environment there, and you're just a black hole that just moves around and sucks it into the black hole, and it gradually gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and there's like a whole cool like stylistic story that goes along with it, with like a raccoon.
What we're learning here is Steam know my tastes better than you do.
It's a cool game, and like I say, it's on phones. It's on phones. It's on Steam. It's on PlayStation. It's supposed to be an incredibly easy platinum trophy.
If Steam can tell this isn't your shtick, then why on earth can't it tell you exactly what your shtick is?
They do. That's what the recommendations are.
But mine are always terrible.
That's because you don't ever buy anything.
Yeah, since you made me get this Mac, I've not bought a Steam game in ages.
That with some disdain there, Sheepdog.
That
Mac would have been awesome if you'd have used it to its full potential rather than just using it as a podcast machine.
I use it for editing the odd bit, but what potential am I not realising on it?
Well, you could have got your lovely writing software that we used to use that I can't remember the name of.
I've got that open right now. I'm like 7,000 or 8,000 words into a book on it. Thank you very much.
Well, there you go then. That's Mac exclusive.
Yeah, well, stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
Say thank you, Kev, for letting me write a book.
Thank you, Kev. You're almost doing the job of an agent there, Kev. Do you want to be my agent?
Yeah, I'm officially a better agent than you are, it seems.
I have more games than I thought. Nowhere near what Pav has. I've logged into Steam for the first time in yonks.
To buy Pav a gift.
I've got 110 games, so a tenth as addicted as Pav to buying Steam junk.
I don't buy a lot of them. Well, I obviously do, but a lot of them come in humble bundles and stuff. So a lot of just get 8 or 9 games. I'd never play them. I just claim them. So
I have a weird pattern. I get Football Manager. I've got 2010, skipped 3 years, and then went every 2 years, and then got 2019 randomly. It's like I was following a bit of a pattern there for a bit, but I think I said to you before, my number of hours played. I thought I was playing it less and less and less as the years went by, but I'm playing it hundreds of hours more as the years go by. And I think that's pretty much, I met Kev. I started playing it more. Kev gave me a copy in this year and I played it more. Kev gave me a copy this year and I played it more. You're a bad influence.
What's those face? Right, just sending Pab a gift now.
Leave me alone.
Is this because you know it's my birthday?
Is it your birthday?
Uh-huh.
What, actual today?
Uh-huh.
Why didn't you tell us?
I'll be honest, it just sprung to mind then when I hadn't even thought about it until just this.
Well, now I have to buy you a gift that's not awful.
That makes me feel terrible.
I just saw it forth in the email in the box.
Pab, we spent all week talking about how it was the podcast's birthday. How did you not even mention him?
Honestly, God, I've not even had it off. I've been working today and everything, so I'm not even. It's not really. It's just passed me by.
We didn't want to know what you were planning on spending the day doing, but
no, it's just passed me by. It's not even like it's just another day today for me.
Happy birthday, Pab! I've already sent you a gift, so I knew.
Oh, great!
You share a birthday with my good friend Dave.
Oh, excellent.
Going to London. He's my best man. I'm going to London to see him tomorrow. Maybe I should come up north to see you as well on the way back.
Have you accepted the gift yet, Pab? Your 1,000th game.
This looks it looks innocent and also seedy at the same time.
That's my speciality.
It's from the three of us, Pab.
Yeah, it was 71p. We really put the boat out.
Lord.
It's from 2009. Would you like to tell us the title, Pab?
It is called Flora's Fruit Farm. I think. That's what it was like. Right. Accept gift.
It was the first thing I saw for under £1 when I was browsing
my library.
There you go. Happy 1,000th game and happy birthday.
Thank you.
You need to get back on Facebook, Pab. That would have alerted me a week ago that it was your birthday. I've been all ready with my message. I'm
going to check Twitter to see if he's put his date of birth on Twitter. If your date of birth isn't listed anywhere, is it really your birthday? I'm going to have to ask to see your driving licence. I feel like you've just conned a present out of me. Yeah, there's no balloons on this Twitter page. Right?
There is. I just literally opened it up and yep, they've got balloons on mine.
Well, then I
didn't even know that was a thing. But you said balloons.
Haven't shared your date of birth publicly because there's no balloons on your page that I can see.
I don't know.
Well, you've done me a bit of a favour though there, Pab, because I just realised I've been talking to Dave for about 2 hours and I hadn't wished him happy birthday. So I've just said happy birthday, by the way. Not too late. I am the worst. I'm such a bad person. I mean, I'm blaming you for forgetting your one because you ain't mentioned it.
Well, there we go.
So is that it for this week's podcast then?
We haven't asked Anna or Pab what they've played.
I'm just so cold. I'm so cold. Anna, what have you played? Briefly.
I briefly played, it was briefly, the Resident Evil one-shot demo.
And you got one go at it.
One go, which was 30 minutes from when you started.
Explain to me what's going on. I don't understand what you're saying.
So, Resident Evil 2 is being remade.
Right.
It's going to come out next week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I thought you were playing it earlier in the week.
I'll get into it.
Okay.
And they released the demo.
Right.
Which was one shot. You only got one go at it. And it was half an hour from when you press start. And basically,
stupid idea.
And it's not the full game either. You couldn't finish the game in half an hour if you speedrun it. There is a cut-off point at a certain point with that game.
So I've seen the cut-off. I know where it is. I didn't get there.
Yeah.
But I went through, had a look around, see if I liked it, and then pre-ordered it. I played this in 1998. I was 13 years old.
30 years old?
13.
Oh.
I remember playing this. I had a girl come round to hang out with me that I really liked, and looking back, had no idea she obviously liked me, and we sat in my room playing Resident Evil 2 together for hours. And then she went home, and I just look back and I think, what an idiot! Like, you're the worst person ever! I went to the cinema with her, I went to hers and played Resident Evil 1. She really liked Resident Evil for some reason. She lent me it. We were really close. She rang me every day for like 2 years, and I never realised she liked me until I was an adult. But Resident Evil, I can't play it because it annoys me too much knowing that I was an idiot. But it looks awesome, doesn't it? The scenes, like the liquor, whatever it's called, sneaking up on you and stuff like that. Awesome.
So like old Resident Evil games, like 1, 2, and maybe 3, had fixed camera angles.
Yeah,
so yes, that's fun, but I don't like that nowadays. I don't want to be jump scared. I want to look around and look at my environment. I don't, like, I remember the dogs and stuff and frightened the life out of me. But yeah, I like the way it is over the shoulder. People have issue with it. I don't know why. I don't mind it. But yeah, I liked it. I like the fact that the map now shows you if you've left stuff behind.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, apparently I've spent 76 hours in Fallout 76. Just
convenient.
popped up. Yeah.
Today, this week.
Yeah.
No, not this week.
Is that an achievement?
Yeah, that you get atoms for it.
Oh.
So I can go and spend them in the shop. I've got 40 for it. That's cool. So the map shows you where you've left stuff, and because there are other people that you can play, so you play as Leon, and then I think you can play as, I forget her name.
Claire? Redfield?
And I'm not sure if I've heard this right, but she'll go to the same area and pick up stuff that you've left behind. And if you haven't fully killed a zombie, so say you just knocked it down, it'll still be alive when you go back.
Yeah.
Which is quite cool, but the ones that you've killed will stay dead.
They're dead.
So that's cool, and apparently there's a Vera in it, I want to say. Or I might be getting that completely wrong, but there's another chick in it somewhere, and she comes and helps you out. But apparently it's double the size of Resident Evil 2, the original. Don't know why.
What?
But apparently it's twice as long.
How'd you manage that if it's a remake?
I have no idea, but it's twice as long.
They've padded it out well, haven't they? They have done a good job of padding.
Yeah. It's lovely looking though.
It looks amazing. Yeah.
So it comes out next Friday, which gives me a week to play it before I'm back at uni, which is fine by me. I liked it. It was nice, but I don't. Like, I can understand why the 30 minutes, like, you just go around and pick up and everything, but I like to look around everything.
Yeah, I don't get that.
I was annoyed when it was 30. I was like, they could have just done it to the end of the section.
I suppose they don't want people nitpicking, spending hours. I mean, my initial thought then was, if it's to a certain point in the game, just let it go to that point and let them spend the entire time. But then they don't want people overanalyzing the areas and the textures and whatever it is and the fidelity of things, probably. If that's what I'm assuming. So they can spend the last few weeks polishing while they get it.
It even said it's like, this might not be in the game. It will change. Yeah. It's a demo, so like, let people demo it. Let people do this, that, and like, I don't know. But it was fine. I haven't been jump scared yet. But that's because I watched like 3 people play it. Yeah. So I was like, I know what's coming. Nothing's going to jump at me, make me scared. The shotgun's very powerful. I liked it. Because I'm not normally a shotgun person, but that's all I play with in Fallout. Yeah. I just shotgun everything and everyone. Kevin or someone's taking pictures, but there you go. Yeah, did you like it?
I've not actually played it. I've only watched it. They're not my thing. The limited ammo gets me, and I see people going,
I have too much.
I've got 5 bullets, and I'm like, you've got 5 bullets.
Really?
I've seen people run out of bullets because they're just like hammering people with bullets, and they're not hitting him in the head. And you're like, you hit him in the head, come on.
Yeah.
And then even that takes a good few. It's not just like one shot, kill sort of thing. You still got to hit him a good few times. And like the scarcity of ammo is a thing that always kind of put me off them games of like, you can easily back yourself into a corner where and the knives have durability in them now, don't they, as well?
So you
but they
you don't. It's got durability on it. The knives have durability on them now, so you can break your knife.
When does that ever happen to anyone?
If you splash something long enough, it will break.
Yeah, it will break. But if you say you're struggling, you stab it in the head, then you have to kill it to get it from its head. Which I can understand. That's what would happen. But I had 60 handgun bullets. I had 12 shotgun bullets, so I was finding them everywhere. But that's because I take my time and look everywhere, look in everything, look around everything. Like, that's how I play games. So I wasn't scared of running out of bullets, not at all. But apparently it had adaptive difficulty, so if you're doing really badly, it will adapt it so like they go down with barely a scratch on them. So that's kind of cool, because I used to hate like Resident Evil 7. if that was the last one, that irritated me no end because it was just hard. Like, there was no easy or medium. It was just hard, and it was really jump scary. Whereas the old Resident Evil, I don't think were as jumpy scary as that. Yes, you had the dogs, but the zombies moved slowly. They didn't have weird things coming out of appendages and stuff. Not that I remember anyway. I remember just like, I think it was either 2 or password, and for the life of me, I couldn't spell it. And I was there for about 2 hours trying to spell a word. So it's all about puzzle solving. And if puzzle solving is in it, that was excellent because now I have a phone and I can spell check things. So,
I just checked and it's got the tofu mode that was in the original as well.
Oh, does it? That's cool.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Brilliant. I mean, it sounds like it'll be impossible, but it's fantastic.
Where did that come from? I saw it and I went, why is that in there?
Apparently, when they were designing it, they just had a block that you could go around it in as like part of the
just
demo,
character models,
Then they just sort of polished it a bit and made that a parody of Hunk mode, where you go through as someone who's super strong and everything. That was the only thing I cared about for a moment there. I was like, I need to find out whether tofu's in it.
Yes, it is.
What are you lot talking about?
Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Strange people.
Why?
I don't like that game. It's scary.
I got an email from Alternate Reality Steve. I think I mentioned him a couple of weeks back. He every now and again. He hadn't heard from a while, but he speaking of random things that developers do, he referenced the fact we talked about Civilization last week, and you were saying about Australia constantly attacking you, and I mentioned in passing that Gandhi always tries to destroy me, and apparently that's an Easter egg from the developers as well. Apparently they made a bug that made Gandhi ultra-violent sometimes under certain circumstances or something, so they left it in because they thought it was funny. Well, I'm not laughing when the good people of my Greek Empire get destroyed by Mahatma Gandhi, thank you, but there you go. That's why it's happening, which I felt quite good learning about. That's quite interesting because I've experienced that bug firsthand every time I put the game on.
Splendid.
You sound thrilled.
I was sending a player on holiday in Football Manager.
Why, what's he done?
To do it in he was tired and I couldn't work out how to do it in FM19. I've worked it out. I've only played like 200 odd hours of this game.
Is that a bug on this, or is it just more realistic? Because when I played that at Spurs,
341. Okay, but carry on.
It just seemed like Christian Eriksen constantly needed a holiday. I don't know whether he just had a missus abroad and wanted to go and visit her, but it was
like
just
you were overtraining him.
Well, I weren't really. I'd set it to auto train, I think, because you told me I should have done that.
Man.
Well, you tell me to do that. You say don't, because I used to get involved in all of that. I mean, I did sack all of the staff and replace them all with 5-star staff because I have to do that. That's just how I roll. I want everything to be light and high quality. But it just constantly says Christian Eriksen needs a holiday, so I send him on a 3-week holiday. He gets annoyed with me because he probably doesn't like flying or something. And then when he comes back, he plays a couple of games. I suggest he needs a holiday. I say to him, you probably want to go on holiday, mate. And he goes, I'm sick of talking about this. Just let me get on with it. And then he's just like orange injured and I just don't get it. Maybe it'll be fixed in a patch, or maybe it has been fixed in a patch. And I think I stopped playing this because when I last loaded it, all of my saves had disappeared from the game, but were still on my hard drive. So I haven't gone back to try and fix that yet. But that was the biggest bugbear I had before that happened. That, yeah, Eriksen just constantly needed a holiday.
Give the poor man a holiday.
So I'm saying I did. He's having more holidays than Thomas Cook.
That's right then. Right, we got any more games then, or can I go back in my house? I don't know if I've mentioned how cold it is.
The only thing I've been playing is realistically Fortnite is the only thing that I've been playing.
You're such a 9-year-old, Fab.
I like it. I like playing Fortnite, even though last week, I felt I was getting better. Like, I felt like my building has come on a lot. This week, I feel like I've gone downhill big time, making errors left and right. I don't know what it is, getting annoyed with the game, just getting frustrated. And you're like just making silly mistakes. You're like, what? Why did I just run at a guy and he just shotguns me straight away and kills me? Like, why did I just run to him? It makes no sense. And just, I just.
You know what you need to sort yourself out, Pab?
Mm-hmm.
Fallout pants, a Fallout baseball cap, and Fallout Fortnite, pants, baseball cap, and pajamas, all from Primark. They were all in there. You can get it out in the Primark Fortnite gear.
Do you want me to send him this episode and ask for some commission?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll tweet him because I don't have the marketing man of Primark's details yet.
I spent nearly £20 in there earlier today. I'd at least like that back.
Did you see Fortnite was? I mean, I don't know if the news just wanted to kick her for no good reason, but it said all over the radio this morning and on BBC, Fortnite was hacked. And then when I got to work, I was surprised to be being told about it at work as well, because the company that we resell these firewalls for a company called Checkpoint, and it turns out they haven't been hacked. Checkpoint found a vulnerability on their system. They found a way that, like, if someone sent a virus to your computer and then you logged into Fortnite, they could find the key that you sent to Fortnite to log in. They could then duplicate your login and then act as you in your account, spend all your money on your credit card and just mess around with your account. So it's one of those things where it hasn't been hacked at all. A company that is, a specialist in security found a vulnerability and reported it to them and they fixed it. But everywhere on my way to work this morning, I read it on my phone, I heard it on the radio, and I saw it on BBC at lunchtime. Everywhere was acting like they'd been hacked and people were at risk. But from what I understand, no one's actually been hurt. So, yeah, bit of PR there for the Fortnite people.
Good.
So they weren't hacked?
They weren't hacked, no. Someone found a vulnerability.
Well, I'm looking at the Indian Express now, which is where I get all my gaming news from. And they tell me that it has been hacked, Sheepdog. So if the Indian Express say it has been, who are you to say it hasn't been? Do you work for the Indian Express?
No, I'm trusting the word of of Israel's finest cybersecurity vendor. Well, the world's finest, even.
But this is India's finest newspaper.
Yeah, well, the people who... I mean, to be fair, actually, I didn't read on to see whether anyone had exploited the vulnerability. I just read that the Checkpoint had found it and reported it to them. So maybe since I read that at like midday, maybe India have discovered that. But since the very, finding.
It was posted just 1 hour ago. So.
Well, there you go. I'm not psychic, Kev.
Yeah.
I was giving misleading news there because I didn't know any better, but obviously need to.
That's the opposite of being psychic. That's fine.
But no, I will add the Indian Times, was it you said?
I can't remember. I've closed the window now. It's the Indian something, that's for sure.
What if I end up with the Indian Sun and they're just telling me all about Brexit or something?
They probably won't.
You did the other news story on Fortnite. Was it today I read it? That like Netflix have said that Fortnite is a bigger competitor to them than HBO and Amazon Prime and all this sort of thing. That's like what? They say that Fortnite takes up more time than all these.
That article was from yesterday, you liar, Kev, and it says can be hacked. Suggests report. You can't even fact check your
old
own
news.
You need a new agent to sort you out.
What are you talking about now?
Your fact just then was wrong. I went and read the Indian Times yesterday's news. Anyway, sorry, Pab, you're saying that they probably are a bigger draw away of people's attention. When I'm not on Netflix, I can be found whiling away my time on computer games.
No, but like, I don't know. I didn't think it'd have that much of a reach, but I suppose it probably does these days. Fortnite.
Well, right now, when I get to February, I'm cancelling my Sky. I couldn't cancel it before then, but I wouldn't even dream of cancelling my Netflix or not buying games again. Well, say that. Look at the past 7 years, I've barely bought any. But, yeah, you know what I mean? I can see why people are doing it, because Netflix, plus marketing. I saw a thing, Netflix is marketing of that bird thing, your bird box. They didn't market it. They made some memes and shared them, apparently. That was their entire marketing. They're all over some TED talk I was looking at earlier as well, saying that they basically made a couple of memes about like the referee for yesterday's game, and then it has the woman with a blindfold and a whistle, and just started sharing them on Twitter. That went viral, and everyone watched it, and it had like 40 or 50 million views in its first couple of days. It was on a first day or something stupid. HBO can't compete with it. I mean, once Game of Thrones finishes, what are they? What have they got?
True Detective.
What is that?
True Detective.
Well, what's it going to be? A false detective?
You haven't seen True Detective?
No, never heard of it.
No. Right, go do yourself a favour and go and watch the first season of True Detective.
Tell me why.
It's some of the best TV
I don't
ever.
like
Honest
crime
to God.
programs, Pab, because they basically always solve the
Just
crime.
stick to your cartoon make-believe nonsense then.
I don't watch cartoon make-believe nonsense. I watch programs about... That's superheroes. That's not a cartoon.
Yeah, nonsense. Make-believe
That's also not my prime go-to TV. That's my guilty pleasure. That's my, if I want to muck it in the Arrowverse, I go and watch 4 hours of that a week, because I'm feeling a bit dirty. Whereas if I want like proper stuff, I'll go and let Claire pick the TV, and she puts on stuff like this Mrs. Maisel program. But, detective shows, they just, it's like House, isn't it? You watch them get it wrong for 45 minutes, and then they solve it in the last minute and a half, and then it's all wrapped up in a nice little package. And then twice a season they don't solve it in the last 15 seconds, and that's a 2-part episode.
No, this is just a one long story season, 10 episodes, I think.
That's even worse, because that means they're not going to solve the crime until 10.
Yeah, but it's worth it. The payoff is worth it.
I'm going to have to watch 4 episodes of them saying it's definitely lupus, and then episode 5 is going to be called It's Not Lupus. And then I've got to watch episodes 6, 7, 8, and 9 where they figure out what it is. And then episode 10 it turns out to be mega lupus.
You understand this isn't House, don't you?
Yeah, well, it's an analogy, Kev. Lupus is a person they think committed the crime, and it wasn't him.
I'm glad you're not a doctor.
Neither was House half the time. I know, Anna. It was an analogy. They'll spend 7 episodes just following... I mean, this would be like you when you're a detective. This is what your job's going to be like. You're going to be following someone around town for basically 7 hours. You're going to realise you were wrong for those full 7 hours. You're going to then spend 3 hours trying to figure out where you went wrong. And then you're suddenly going to be, I don't know, ordering a hot dog from a vendor, and someone's going to say something to you, and you're going to think, oh my God, and you're going to click. Like I said, did you see the football last night? And you'll think, the football! It was burst. Somebody must have burst it. That man with a spike in his hand. And then you'll arrest him, and it'll turn out you've solved it in 15 seconds flat. And that's what these programs are all like. So I don't like crime programs.
If there was a man with a spike in his hand, I'd probably interview him a little earlier in the process.
But they don't, because all detective programs are just unnecessarily dumb at the start.
I'd at least ask him why he had a spike rather than a hand.
They'd look at Spike Hand, they'd look at the guy who just had shifty looking eyes moving left and right, and they'd spend 7 hours pursuing old shifty eyes. It's just the same all the time.
How would Spike Hand wipe his bum?
Other hand, he's got 2 hands.
Okay, I can't see him. I don't know all the details, Sheepdog.
But, like, I just... I
wish I'd not brought it up. I really wish I'd not brought it up.
Why did you bring it up, Hab? Why didn't you know better?
Yeah, I didn't need to be sat here in my garage thinking about someone putting a spike up their bum, Pab.
Well, I didn't. That wasn't my fault.
The fact that I am is entirely your fault.
No, that wasn't me.
Ha! This is a great advert, Pab. I typed in True Detective, and it says, True Detective Stephen Dorff admits the show is too long.
I don't know. I don't know what from how long ago was that, though.
6 hours ago.
There's a new season. There's a new season just started this week. The new season started this week, and the season 2 wasn't great, but the first season with Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson is one of the best standalone seasons ever, because it doesn't follow on the season 2 and 3 are separate. They're all standalone seasons. You can just watch season 1 and just be happy with that. But don't watch it then. Don't watch it then.
Blown my mind.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I've just realised Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson are different people.
Yeah.
I'm looking at pictures of them both now, thinking, I've never seen them together before. I thought they were the same man.
How?
Because I didn't know who Matthew McConaughey was. Whenever anyone said his name to me, I've pictured Woody Harrelson. Now I realise they're different people.
You need to watch True Detective season 1.
Oh, Lord.
They'll be in the same shots together.
I think I might
How
now.
do you
sold
live,
it to me, Fab.
Kevin?
At least I've made one sale.
Yeah.
Did I tell you, Pab, that I finished season 3 of Preacher and it was amazing?
See, Sheepdog.
Right, that's it. He's talking about TV.
I'm sorry, but no, I won't go any
ended.
further. I won't go any further. But no, it was fantastic, and I'm shocked.
Have I steered you wrong, Sheepdog?
Well,
I'll tell you when it's garbage, and realistically, I know what you like.
realistically, you do, but you saw how angry the new season of Luther made me. Are you sure you want to send me on any kind of this?
Give it a chance.
True Detective.
True Detective season 1. I don't
Why
even know
is he
what
true? What's true about him?
No, it's just called True Detective. Just give it a chance, Sheepdog.
But that's going to bug me now. Is there not a hint?
Watch the first episode, and if you're
The
not
main
hooked, I don't know what
character's
will.
called Trudy, and it's short for Trudy.
I can live with that.
Good.
It's like Hetty Wainthrope Investigates. You know, that says exactly what it is.
Exactly like that. It's
You know what you're getting with that.
remake of that.
I can live with that.
Good. With Woody Harrelson playing Matthew McConaughey. Again, that's all he ever does. Right, we've got to wrap this up. I'm getting so cold, I can't remember what either of them look like. So don't forget to buy your MGPX tickets at lelujo.fm/MGPX and follow us on Twitter at MGUK Podcast and me at Lelujo.
I'm at RB6K.
I'm at Miss Lelujo.
I'm at Pab 1986.
And I'm trying to write a YouTube description at the moment, so I can't end the show. What do I normally say? See you next week, boys and girls.
Have a good week.
Bye.
Thanks for listening.
You're welcome.